call the meeting to order. Please rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law and has been duly advertised in the newspaper as an official meeting. Roll call.
Ms. Gardella?
Present.
Mr. McCarron?
Present.
Mrs. Barocas?
Present.
Dr. Osmond?
Here.
Mrs. Rivera?
Present.
Mrs. Cass?
Present.
Mr. Palmieri?
Did it wrong? Before we move to the approval of agenda, I would like to note for board resolution finance number 13, the amount has been filled in at $18,500. $18,500,000. Excuse me. I need a motion for approval of the agenda with addendum.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Roll call. Roll call.
Roll call. Sorry.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Dr. Osmond? Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Oh, okay. Okay. I now turn the meeting over to Mrs. Pormilli for her superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cass, and good evening, everyone who's come out tonight, and to our board members and administrative team. So it's September. It's hard to believe it's September and the start of the 24-25 school year. It is certainly been a very busy start for us to the school year. I always look forward to September board meetings, as it is a new beginning with the anticipation of new exciting learning opportunities and experiences for our students. And it is also the meeting in which we get to meet and hear from this year's high school board reps. So we're very excited. We missed them over the summer, so it's nice. We have some new reps this year with us. So we'll begin with them as always. From Liberty, we have Katie Yergel here with us. She can just give a wave, Katie. And then from Memorial, we have Colin Williams with us today. And moving forward for the rest of the school year, they will be at every board meeting to give an update of all the high school happenings throughout the year. It's always a pleasure to have them with us and to hear about the happenings. So this evening, we will start with Katie from Liberty. If you could come to the podium.
Hi, for those who don't know me, I'm Katie Yergel, a senior at Jackson Liberty, the captain of the volleyball team, and the president of our Kiwanis Club. Good evening, Superintendent Pormilli, Board of Education members and guests. Thank you for extending me this opportunity to speak on behalf of Jackson Liberty. I'm honored to share with you a little bit about what the students and staff have been up to this school year. Although we have not been in for long, there's already plenty to report. As the country is fixated on the upcoming election, our student government has been busy with our own, and all 4 classes have followed suit. The National Honor Society and Leadership Academy have also begun their selection process and look to have determinations made by next month. Another big event happening in October is our homecoming dance. The PTSN is hard at work with the Student Council to start preparations for the popular event. They are determined to give students a night to remember, and we are so grateful for their generosity and support. They were one of many organizations present during another successful back-to-school night. The grand hallway was filled with representatives from various teams, clubs, to showcase all that our school has to offer. The families enjoyed stopping by each table in between classes where they met their children's teachers. The PALs and ROTC were there to help direct them and assist wherever was needed. It was nice to see everyone come together with enthusiasm for the year to come. Our sports teams have started the season strong. The football team had a big win over Hamilton West to kick off the school year. It was exactly what we needed to keep the momentum going for all of our other teams. The Red Zone was also there to cheer them on the whole way through. The boys soccer team also tallied a win with senior Richard Kozek leading in goals, and Rocco Malangone had an impressive 24 saves of the season so far. The girls soccer team recently defeated New Egypt 5-1, where senior goalie Peyton Blasi had 8 saves. Our field hockey team currently has a pair of wins, and junior Dalia Hassel has an impressive 42 saves. The sports teams aren't the only ones bringing home the Liberty win. Our marching band and color guard placed first in their groups at the Manchester Band Competition with a score of 78.47. They will look to continue their success with the show entitled Colors of the Mind this Saturday at Brick Township High School. Other performing arts programs have been busy as well. The Atlet Players and the Liberty Choir have already begun rehearsals for the first semester show, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Simultaneously, the TV production studio is working hard on their popular show, the 4th Annual Spooktacular, which is only about a month away. Money, clubs, and classes and teams have started fundraising already. The class of 2025 held a Paint a Parking Spot fundraiser where students showed their creative sides and brought their favorite designs to life and added personality to our parking lot. Additionally, our Lionette dance team recently wrapped up their annual Mum fundraiser. The class of 2026 is raffling off a basket of Liberty gear, and the marching band is getting ready for their 11th annual vendor fair, while our boys soccer team is planning a car wash for the 22nd of this month at Station 55. Finally, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Lions basketball team is raising money for the worthy cause by placing jugs around the building where each grade level can donate. All donations go towards Oceans of Love, a nonprofit helping families of children with cancer. At the end of the month, if we reach our $5,000 goal, Coach Connor will dye his hair pink for October. It is a tradition that has formed, and we are so excited to continue it this year. As you can see, although it's still the first month of school, it's been very busy. There have already been successes, and we look to build upon them in the months to come. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to reporting back here next month with even more accomplishments. Until then, have a great rest of your week.
Wow, Katie, you sound like a pro, like you've been doing that for years. That was a fantastic report, very informative, lots of wonderful happenings already occurring at the high school, at Liberty, and many more to come in the next month. It's very exciting. Colin, we'd love to have you now at the podium to tell us about what's happening at Memorial.
Good evening, Mrs. Permilli, members of the Central Administration staff, and Board of Education members. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Colin Williams, and I'm the Student Council President at Jackson Memorial High School. I am a varsity track and soccer athlete, and I'm a part of the STEM program. I would like to thank you for allowing me to speak here tonight. For the first time, I'm honored to share exactly what has been happening here at Jackson Memorial High School as we've just started the year. The school year is off to a great start. Seniors began the year by painting parking spots showcasing their artistic abilities. Although it's the students' parking spot, the parents also contributed a huge part. This tradition continues and is a great way to bring the class together and kick off a new school year. Freshman orientation was on August 29th. With the help of the PALS program, we gave incoming freshmen a full tour of the school, allowing freshmen to get a glimpse of what's in store for them this year. Grade level meetings were held this last week for all students to set goals for a great school year. Homecoming is quickly approaching, coming on October 18th. We plan to sell tickets as soon as possible so students have a lot of time to prepare. We're excited to celebrate 60 years of tradition at JMHS. With the 60th anniversary, we plan to have 2 Battle of the Classes for the special occasion. 60th anniversary apparel is also available through the Student Council. New senior apparel is on the way, with the demand set to new levels as the class of 2025 awaits. For all grades except freshmen, AP classes are a huge priority for most students. Taking some myself, I'm most excited for AP US History. Fall sports is off to a great start. The football team has a record of 2-1. Boys and girls cross country, girls tennis, girls volleyball, field hockey, and the boys and girls soccer teams have been representing Jackson Memorial High School. As a player in the soccer team, we are also off to a great start with a record of 3-2-2. To congratulate athletes this year, we are moving the fall prep rally back outside onto the football field. I would like to thank Mrs. Permilli and the Board of Education for your continued support and for allowing me here to speak tonight. I look forward to addressing you all next month with some more exciting news regarding the events here at Jackson Memorial High School.
Wow, Colin, again, just an incredible report, so well done. Again, like a pro that you've been doing this all along. So impressive, both schools, so many activities happening, and we can't wait to hear more to come at the October meeting. Thank you for everything and for being here tonight. I know you are both very active in your studies and your extracurricular, so we appreciate your time. So our opening for September was normal for the most part in regards to the normal things that we deal with. Overall, it was a smooth opening, busy, and we had some unexpected things that I'll get to in a moment, but overall, transportation worked relatively smoothly. We had our normal bumps that we have in the beginning of the school year, ironing out times and such. Everything got worked through, and I just want to say congratulations to our transportation team, the admin team there, all of the support staff, and our drivers, who really are the smiling faces every day that our students see as their first experience walking into the schools in the morning, onto the buses. They've done a great job, and I appreciate all of the hard work that they've done. At the last moment, we were able to pull off some subscription late busing. As you can recall, late buses were cut from the budget. And we know that that is difficult for us to adjust to because students use those buses to be able to participate in extracurriculars. And fortunate enough, at the very last moment, we were able to pull together some subscription busing. Mr. Baginski organized that, and we were able to quickly make some turnaround in that, and we ended up having 160 students be able to take advantage of the subscription busing. So we will continue to work through those. That was our first try at it, and it was very quick. We'll iron out any of the hiccups there, but we're happy to see that it is being used as a service in the district. So the not-so-normal start to our school year that many of you, the board obviously knows about, we had to quickly pivot and move many students from trailers back into the classrooms, into the schools. And in some very tight spaces, unfortunately. We had some issues at Switlick, Holman, and Johnson in which we needed to pivot quickly. So at Switlick, we had originally had a teacher who had discovered some mold behind a bookshelf, which we needed to explore further. Our trailers are very old. I think our community knows that. Certainly our staff knows it and the board knows it. And they're old. They're definitely checked on a routine basis. This was not something that was visible on routine checks. It was behind a bookshelf once moved. It was seen, and upon further exploration of opening walls and looking into it, there was a leak that was coming from the roof that was dripping down into the walls, behind the walls, where we wouldn't be able to see it, and there was some mold upon opening the wall further. We immediately shut down that trailer, also investigated 2 other surrounding ones close by, and shut those down as well. Immediately, we then did an extensive check. Mr. Bruno, thank you, and to the principals too, who went trailer by trailer then to do visual checks, moving furniture, looking behind, and there was nothing else seen visually, as we said in our communication. However, out of safety and caution, we said we really should explore these further. You know, if there was a leak behind 2 of our trailers and the walls and trailers, and we could not see that, we should perhaps investigate these further, and felt that we should not have students and staff in them while we are investigating them further to make sure everybody is safe and sound. So I do want to just take a few minutes to talk about thanking some people, first of all, and then I'll go into the next steps of where we're going to move with this. But we had to relocate 8 full classrooms of students from trailers into classrooms within buildings, and then we also needed to relocate several small group instruction groups into the schools, and also some office spaces and child study team offices. So as you can imagine, that was quite the task, and took a lot of organizing quickly and a lot of physical manpower that went into relocating those staff and those students. It was quite the task, and I really do need to take a few minutes to thank so many people here. The board, first of all, for your support when we called you about this and the plan. I'd like to thank the administrative team, my central office team, who worked endlessly late into the hours to make this happen. You know, Mr. Baginski, Mr. Rattante, Dr. Godleski, Ms. Irwin, Ms. Barber, Mr. Bruno, just so many people who just jumped in to help here. Our building administrators, Dr. Raymond, Mr. Saunier, Mr. Karras, Mrs. Lasitra, and Ms. Shar, who oversees the preschool program. I want to just talk for a moment about our facility supervisors, grounds, custodians, rock stars. These people were rock stars for us. We all came in on Saturday. The team of people from that department were just hustling. We were able to move and make all of those changes on a Saturday. It was a long Saturday for us, but it was done. And then we had some people also come in Sunday just to sort through some things so that classes could resume to the most of the capacity on Monday, with some exceptions with some preschool that started back on Tuesday. It also took tremendous support, flexibility, and work from our teachers and our staff who understood that it needed to happen. These were people who had just finished setting up their classrooms, and we were asking them to now take them apart and put them back together in another space. And I just can't say enough about how wonderful people were. Of course they were upset. Anybody would be upset, but they understood why, and they rose to the occasion and did those things. I want to thank the parents for understanding the need for the move, the flexibility. It was difficult for some of our preschool parents because they needed to change to the preschool annex at Memorial, which was a different time. And then our transportation department, who needed to now reroute those students. Again, kudos to the transportation department. This all happened in 2 days. We were able to get most of that into place so they wouldn't miss too much of a beat in our instructional time for our students. I also want to just thank the admin team at Memorial in understanding the flexibility that was needed at the annex, and our security, who stepped up and volunteered their time for the preschool annex to make sure that our students on Tuesday were able to get in safely. They assessed the transportation plan for parent drop-off, and they're continually working with Ms. Shar to tweak that to make that as smooth as possible. So a lot of moving pieces. It was tremendous what everybody pulled off, and I just want to say a public thank you to everybody. Amazing what everybody did. We are keeping those 3 trailers, obviously offline, that I mentioned in the beginning of this, and we have brought in some testing company who have come in early this week to test some of our portables and some of our trailers. The portables are different. They are on a foundation of concrete, a little bit more sturdy, maybe could be more usable for a longer period of time. So we tested those first, and a few trailers that we felt were also possibly in better shape than some of the others. We're hopeful. The preliminary reports seem positive, but we do not have any final reports back, and when we do, we will make sure we communicate those back. For the meantime, everybody is staying put where they are because that's what's safe and that's what's sound, and we need some consistency for our staff and our students and our parents right now. But we do have, in those schools I mentioned, the media centers are all offline, and the media specialist pushes into the class on a cart for lessons, and those libraries, media centers are now sectioned off for small group instruction and or office space or child study team space for meetings. So there is a lot of crunching into the schools, but it is working, and again, kudos to everybody who is making that work for our students. And we will keep everybody updated as we move forward in this process. I also wanted to take a moment to, again, thank and talk about the field house here at Memorial is just about complete. I want to thank Ms. Kuhn, the town council president, for facilitating that project and obtaining donations of time, of equipment, of services, and of money. I also appreciate everyone pulling together in this town. I appreciate the Jackson Education Foundation for assisting with the donations of that money and managing all of that. We will certainly benefit from this. All of our sports teams will benefit from having that concession stand and field house updated. So I just wanted to publicly thank everybody involved in that. It is definitely going to benefit the school community for a long time to come. We are this Saturday honoring Rosenauer from 1 to 3. Please join us. We've put a flyer out a few weeks ago, or a month ago actually, and continue to put it out there. It's posted on our Facebook page and our district website. We need to honor that school appropriately. Please come and join us. It's Saturday. It's a walk to remember. You get to walk the hall where there's a collection of memories and photos that people have submitted. We also have a setup of some really incredibly old and new, and just many, many photos of things that have happened, and staff and students that will be on display in the library, along with a video of many things that have occurred over the years. We will have some old yearbooks set up there as well. We'll have a signing of a memory display that we're going to take a photo of and archive. And also join us for some fun activities for the children. There'll be an obstacle course, a blow-up obstacle course if the weather cooperates. There'll be some food, some other activities, a ceremony at 2 o'clock to honor the school district. We'll have some principals of that school speak. We'll sing the Rosenauer song and really honor, bless you. Thank you. And really honor that school the way it deserves to be honored. So I hope to see many people on Saturday. That would be very nice. Some other updates, I just want to mention that the Jackson Liberty Band took first place at Manchester High School in a competition. That's exciting. Our bands are up and running, and I'm sure going to be very successful this year. One of my favorite things, I used to be in a marching band, is to watch them perform. It's amazing. The Jackson Day was a huge success here in the community, and the Memorial Band played there. ROTC presented colors, and if you have a chance, check out the live stream drone show. I actually checked it out last night. It was pretty neat. And then, as I mentioned, we have the Rosenauer Walk to Remember coming up. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of my superintendent's report, busy start to the school year. You heard the high school reps, lots of good things happening, definitely some unexpected things for us in the beginning of the school year, but overall a very positive start. And it has been a good start to the year, and we look forward to seeing more of the smiling faces we've been seeing as we enter the buildings, the positive energy we have going, and the engaging in learning and extracurriculars that we'll have throughout the year. So looking forward to a really good, successful school year. So that concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you. Next, we will move on to standing committee reports.
Hey.
First, we have Building and Grounds.
Rosenauer
Chairperson, Mr.
Roadrunners.
McCarron.
Yes, capital improvement projects district-wide. At Memorial, the generator electricians installed a new battery and installed a new starter. Also at Memorial, new Univent motors replaced in rooms 626 and 523. Memorial, new compressor installed in the IT room, and 104 and 115. Switlick Trailer 10, new HVAC thermostat. Switlick Trailer 8, new HVAC blower motor. Switlick Portable 2 installed the HVAC split system. Holman installed new power supply board for fire alarm system. Liberty had a new motor installed for concession stand freezer. The Getz water tank project is completed. And Holman Elementary School gym equipment delivery date tentatively scheduled for September 27th this year.
Thank you. Next, we have Curriculum and Instruction. Chairperson, Dr. Osmond.
Okay. Sorry, I have to use my phone because I printed this out and left it in my printer. All right. The Curriculum and Instruction Committee met on September 16th to receive an update on the mental health grants awarded to the district by the New Jersey Department of Ed. Dr. Taylor and Mr. Palumbo provided an overview of the school-based mental health grant, which is, I'll refer to that as SBMH, and the depression screening grant. So just for a quick overview, both grants are 5-year initiatives. The district is in year 2 of the SBMH grant and year 1 of the depression screening grant. I'll call that DS. The grants aim to address the state's lack of school-based mental health professionals and support students with social and emotional challenges using a multi-tiered system of implementation. So some of the highlights for this grant. For the SBMH grant, we were able to have an intern program where 12 interns were selected, and they were placed across 9 schools. These interns are working to become school psychologists, social workers, and school counselors. The grant also allows for or funds training for up to 30 staff and interns in crisis preparedness. We, through the grant, adopted a second step curriculum. This curriculum is implemented in 5 elementary schools. All school libraries now will receive mental health resources, and the grant also allows for various trainings to take place. So far, some of the trainings that were completed are prepared 2-day crisis training, behavior intervention plans, and implicit bias training. These have already been conducted, and there were a few others as well. So for the future plans for the SBMH grant, the intern program is going to continue. The district will launch the Link It platform and provide related training for Link It. Additional training of 20 staff members and 10 interns will receive prepared crisis training. There will be curriculum expansion, meaning that materials and curricula will be expanded at the participating schools. And we have adopted a college readiness program, and the program will continue for grades 9 through 12. The district is actively seeking highly qualified interns. Partnerships with universities such as Georgian Court and Monmouth University help attract strong candidates, and the universities also support the initiative through shared content. So they're helping out with the college readiness programs. Let's see, and then this grant allows for 2 screening processes to fulfill the requirement of the grant. So the first screening is for a social emotional universal screening. This screening is part of the multi-tiered system of support following the social emotional framework, and it is administered electronically. There is also a depression screener. If students show a need based on the social emotional screening, they will complete a depression screener. This screener is available for middle and high school students and is overseen by part-time licensed mental health clinicians. The screenings will only be done for students whose parents opt in and complete a permission form. If you don't complete the form, you didn't opt in. Communication will go out in October to parents about the opt-in social emotional screener. And Jackson Memorial High School does not qualify for the screening process currently, as it's based on the Title I status. So goals for the screening is to identify and support students with social and emotional challenges through a multi-tiered system of support. The screening will help increase the capacity of current staff to address some of the mental health and behavioral needs of our students. And it expands our ability to focus counseling groups at all grade levels. It also will increase the diversity of school-based mental health professionals to support multilanguage learners and their families. So I think I covered it all, Dr. Taylor? Okay, got a thumbs up. So that it was a pretty comprehensive meeting, and Dr. Taylor did a wonderful job explaining how the grant came about, how it's being used, and what we're doing in the future with this grant. So thank you.
Thank you. Ad hoc committees meet as needed. We have the state and county school boards representative, Chairperson Mrs. Rivera.
Yes, the next county meeting will be September 25th at 6 o'clock. It will be a hybrid at Clarion Hotel in Toms River. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion for approval of policy and regulation. So, no? Which one? You said no report. Oh, I'm sorry. We have an advocacy report. Chairperson Mrs. Gardella.
Good evening, everybody. Allison, Tara, and myself met with Assemblyman Zawicki on September 6th. We discussed the current status of the school funding legislation. He pretty much told us that he felt that S2 is not going to be rewritten in the next year. However, at this time, there are some legislators interested in working on tweaking some of the language of the current bill. Some ideas that were floated around from Assemblyman Alex was including funding all the districts to adequacy and then utilizing the additional leftover funds to those districts that require it. Also creating a minimum per pupil amount that the state spends and a maximum per pupil amount that the amount spends to each district. And we also discussed the current legislative stakeholders, and our goal is to schedule meetings with those individuals forthcoming, and then obviously to maintain communication with Assemblyman Zawicki. He's an awesome supporter of Jackson Township.
Thank you. Now I need a motion for approval of policy and regulations, second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
The closed session meeting, August 21st, 2024, the official board meeting, August 21st, 2024, business meeting, the official board meeting, August 28th, 2024, personnel business meeting. Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
So I was not here for that meeting. Should I abstain? Okay. I did not attend that meeting, so I will. Can't hear you. I'm abstaining. You're still off. Hello? Okay, no. I wasn't here for that meeting, so I'm abstaining from that.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the bill list.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the treasurer's and board secretary's reports.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to open the public forum on agenda items only. We will hold another public forum during this meeting for other questions. This public forum will be for questions on the agenda only.
Motion.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard. Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
All in favor? Motion to move finance.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move facilities.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move programs.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move students.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move personnel.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Gardella,
Abstain, item 26A, yes to everything else.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Dr. Osmond,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to open the public forum on any topic pertaining to the Board of Education.
Motion.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard. Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will start with board comments. We will start down at that end. Thank you.
Just want to wish everybody a great school year. As parents, we send our kids off to school, And we don't see the behind the scenes, and I just wanted to say how appreciative I am for everybody and their hard work getting this school year started. I know there was some curveballs thrown, and I know you guys all did a great job, so thank you.
Thanks for everybody for coming out. For those of you who couldn't come out, hopefully you're watching this online. Wishing everybody a good school year, and I agree with Brian. Nice job, everyone.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and viewing us on live stream. I want to thank you for everyone coming together to open the school year. And also, hope to see everyone at Rosenauer on Saturday at 1 p.m. And everyone have a magnificent night.
Thank you for everybody coming out. I want to thank everybody who put their time, energy, efforts, and funds into the field house and the concession stand. I think it's going to bring a lot of opportunity to our student athletes and clubs. And I always like to highlight that, you know, we didn't really have a discussion on the personnel, but there are some great teachers and admin who work for grants with Perkins and work-based learning, and that's just exciting for our students here in Jackson, and thank you for that. And to everybody else, have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you for those that came out tonight and those watching online. It's always nice to see a great start to the school year. No phone calls is always a good thing. I just want to also echo Megan's sentiments regarding everyone that took the time and contributed to the opening of the Fieldhouse and concession stand. Rome wasn't built in a day, and yet we managed to build it in a day, or maybe a little less than a week. And I also want to echo the sentiments of Brian. If it wasn't for our administration and everyone, all of our staff in our school district, you know, it wouldn't be, you know, it takes a village. So thank you, and thanks for coming out.
I want to say thank you to everyone for coming and to our high school reps for your first, are they here? They're here. For your first speeches of the year. We look forward to listening to you guys as the year goes on, and hearing more about the great things that are going on. It's always exciting to hear those reports, I think, because you guys are out in it. Again, you know, everyone, please come out on Saturday for Rosenauer. I think it'll be a great thing, and the field house as well. It was nice to see the community come together, and of course our administration, because they are working very hard behind the scenes, and we've had a lot of curveballs this year, and I think they're handling it with dignity and grace. So thank you. Have a great year. I need a motion to adjourn. Motion. By acclamation. Oh. Oh, second. Motion to adjourn. Motion. Second. By acclamation. Aye. Good job, Steve. Okay. It didn't say second, that's why in the other,
Hey, Rosenauer Roadrunners, I am so proud of you. Show your true colors. Sing out. Thank you, and I will be looking out for you. Because I hear you guys really are great.